Just as with Prange's, the museum has one part of the holiday memories display that remains a constant from year to year, the nativity scene. Originally purchased by Prange's in 1939, the chalkware set would appear in the front corner window just before Christmas. In later years, it was also one of the items featured in the glass display cases found on Plaza 8 during the 1980s. Along with the first pieces of animation, the museum received the nativity pieces from Yonkers in 2001. While the figures do not have any identifying stamp, research over the years leads us to believe that they were likely manufactured by Columbia Statuary, a Chicago-based manufacturer of chalkware statues. By the time the Nativity arrived at the museum, it was already 62 years old. Composed mainly of plaster of Paris, chalkware is inherently fragile. The material is sensitive to changes in temperature and humidity. The paint was not fired, so the finish is prone to cracking and chipping. And while chalkware is often hollow on the inside, the larger chalkware pieces can be quite heavy. All of these factors mean that a set of figures that were handled annually would be showing their age. Additionally, the crates had evidence of water damage, possibly from the water main break at Prange's. By 2010, the museum knew that the set needed conservation. Every piece was in need of a good cleaning, a difficult task with chalkware. Many pieces were suffering from significant paint loss, and a couple pieces had serious structural issues. There was also evidence that previous repairs and overpainting were starting to fail. In 2013, we began preparing the nativity figures for an exciting journey thanks to generous donations by the Merkel family and Festival Foods. Each piece was extensively photographed and condition reported. Following the 2013 Holiday Memories display, the pieces were packed into their original crates for a road trip. Every 6 weeks, a few were transported by museum staff to Megan Mackey, a conservator based in Madison, Wisconsin. She began with the 5 most severely damaged pieces, carefully cleaning, repairing, and stabilizing the figures. Once finished, we would pick up those pieces and drop off another set to be worked on. A great example of the work Megan completed was one of the wise men, who we occasionally joked could get a part in the movie Face Off. He had one of the most serious structural failures with a crack that encircled his face. Luckily, the figures have an interior metal armature that had thus far prevented a serious incident. As each piece was completed, Megan would provide us an extensive report of the work done. Wiseman number 3 received a top-tier makeover, including having his face rejoined, losses filled, sculpted, and textured, and new painting to blend the repairs, along with an overall cleaning, all according to strict museum standards. After the pieces returned to the museum, a new set of crates was built by museum staff to protect the figures both in storage and for transport for display. Each crate was made to a custom specification with high-quality archival materials. The interior of each crate was lined with protective barrier materials and then assembled. Once the general construction was completed, each figure was fit into their crate and custom bumpers were made to hold each piece in place, even when the crate was moved or slightly tipped. We even made sure to measure twice and cut once so that the crates would fit on the elevator. Today, the Nativity harkens back to the days standing outside the glass display windows of Prange's. Unlike those days, it is usually one of the first parts of the Holiday Memories exhibit to be installed and one of the last to be removed. It typically takes about a half a day to get everything set up, but we've sped the process up for you to enjoy.